I'm still on this, using this mod. We've gone back to, well, typical bullshit when your 200-man army decides to go deep into enemy territory and gets ambushed by a 1,400-man army. And this is the thing. I just defeated 6 of them, and I'm all right back to where I was. So I gotta somehow get from here over to here, or basically anywhere around here. When I get out of this, I'll continue on. I have 190k now, because the thing is that the Kurgiak, or whoever the hell I'm playing as, apparently are peacemongers. They, for a year in-game, did not go to war. They were just fighting, well, these things that are carrying me around. And so I got really bored, and it cost a lot of money, but I'd end up in a town. I would leave, and I'd buy a workshop. And another issue I was having is when you're in an army of 90 and you're going across and you're hitting 6 and 12 looters and 17, I wasn't participating in those fights because it was pointless. There was nothing I could do in it, so I was not getting any renown. So I ended up doing tournaments. I won 2 of them, and I lost many more. And the 2 I won, I got the exact same reward, which are suede boots. So it took a while to get my clan tier up enough so I think I had I can get 1 more workshop. So I got the 2 workshops. And then since the People's Army I was in only went to basically 1 city, I would take a risk and give them 4 to 6 grand to take leave, hit the tavern, and then I'd hire just whoever was in the tavern as a companion. Wow, they're really taking me out to nowhere. And oh, I can join that army because I'm a neutral now. And then I made them into caravans, and it took about a week or 2 to establish the caravan. Shit. Can I make it to the castle? No. Oh, maybe. Elsin. Hey, Elsin. Hi there. I don't know you, but I would like to join your warband. There we go. Thank you. So I was able to get caravans going. And they're a pain in the ass to keep going. But they would have great days where they're making 700 a week and bad days where I was paying them 200 a week. I only have 2 left. So if I'm ever back in this place or this place, I can get them up and going again. And I'm using the more expensive caravans. And I kitted all these people out with at least some decent... Oh, and I can't see them because, yeah, they're not in my party. With some defensive stuff and weapons according to their traits. And when I did that, you were my first experiment on it. Yeah, I gave you some decent stuff. No, you weren't the one. I don't know, one of these people I gave decent equipment to. They lasted about 5 weeks in game before they got captured. So now that we're back in the mod, I can talk about that. And that's, again, 22. I'll go ahead and I'll join this one. I'll cut it out. Oh, crap. I forgot. I didn't change my equipment. I wonder what equipment I have. I got that. And the sword. Alright. I had to turn my graphics settings down to medium across the board. Oh, I have to increase battle limit size because I don't like having a low battle limit size. Because I have to clean the fans in my laptop, and it's only 95 in here now, Fahrenheit, but yeah, the GPU gets really hot. Oh, see, this is why I don't do these fights right here. Archers charge. Yeah, well, your horses got here first. Yeah, so that was a whole waste of time. And I would have gotten the exact same reward if I had just let the others handle it. Of course, anybody that plays this game knows this. So this right here. Boom, right there. This I have a problem with. Because right down here, it says abandon party. Right here. There is no confirmation for this. Now, if you're actually riding a horse, oh, that's all new. The letters. Yeah, I'm overloaded. Oh, actually, because I bought the most expensive armor I could. And these are the boots that I won. Alright, now I'm not overloaded. I'll take the steep war bow instead. See, this is other stuff. Yeah, I think that'll work for now. This abandoned party is you accidentally click it, you're screwed. And I mainly, okay, so now I can click Lure Bandits. You took some minor injuries while being chased by bandits. Oh, but it didn't leave it to the others. That raises tactics. So I got my tactics up to here just by luring the bandits. So again, this thing scrolls up. There's no way I know of. Oh, that right there. If I just keep this open, I can keep this down here. Am I not on a horse anymore? I am on a horse. Now, is this going to stay? Basically, I was trying to tap Lure Bandits right there. I didn't know about this moving thing, so I could raise my tactics, and I accidentally hit abandoned party. No, I'm sorry. I got it completely wrong. Abandoned party kills your reputation. You don't get any of your equipment. I don't think you get any of your equipment. It just completely wipes out your reputation from everyone. I've spent a lot of time building reputation, and it wiped all of it out. When you retire, I think you do reset to 0, but you get some higher tier items. Like I got some kind of weird helmet, but it was a very good helmet. So right now, I'm just trying to get this to 20,000. That's all I'm trying to do. Otherwise, the thing's only crashed a couple times. It's been a pretty stable mod. I added this extra time fast forward because, you know, when you're going only from city to city and attacking those stupid bandits and never going to war, it gets really, really dull. I also added diplomacy, which I then took out because if I had diplomacy on here and I sent a message to one of my people here, say it will take 3 days for the message to arrive, you only will get a response to that message after you're out of the army. And I couldn't set up a remote caravan that way because that's what I wanted to use it for. So I got rid of that mod because, you know, I'm not really using anything in it right now, and I don't know anything else about it. Oh, and I gotta take as many people as you want into hideouts. I got that mod, but I haven't had a chance to use it yet since the game crashed. And when I reloaded, I I was back in an army. So, yeah. These hideouts, I don't know. There's events that happen in this mod. So, we have 599 now, but we had about 90 before we joined this army. So with that 90, they're all tooling around right around this area. Sometimes they'd get up here. Suddenly an event would happen. And it's a part of this mod where all 90 of us are against 200 horse archers. 200 steep banded horse archers. It got out of hand. We got wiped more than once by this quote-unquote random event. And I can't change it or anything. Sometimes when they first started happening, it was bearable. We'd have a smart army commander that would circle the infantry, and then archers would stand inside. And these horses would just barrel. I mean, a whole shit ton of horses would come in all at once, barrel into that. And we'd just hack and slash and hack and slash. And that was when it was 100 versus 100. We were able to get away with it with like 30 people left. So the mod has its positives and its negatives right now. And the only reason I've kept to it is the reward at 20,000. I want to see what that positive is. Okay, so here we are. I'm at tier 6. I'm considered a horse archer, even though technically I can't ride this horse, this steep war horse, because that's what I chose on my change equipment. I don't want to do it again. Well, I guess I can. So I'm at tier 6, so I'll go ahead and hit change equipment. These are everything, all the loadouts I can choose from. And I have to choose one. I just chose heavy horse archer. But anyways, I'm currently wearing this stuff. Even though I can't use that horse. If I take this horse out of my inventory right now, because I don't have the skill to ride it. Wait, riding 60. Oh, I do have the skill to ride it. Okay, let's assume that I couldn't ride this horse. I could still use it because it was part of my equipment. But the minute I moved it in my inventory, I wouldn't be able to re-equip it. Like that. Because I've been building up my riding. And I've found this out. Also, if you get off your horse in combat, you cannot get back on the horse because you don't have the skill to ride it. But you don't lose it out of this slot of your inventory. Alright, so that's, I think, specific to the mod. So I am at faction 19,057. We just had a big-ass fight. Right here, I can ask to retire. You can keep all your equipment, but all reputation with this faction is reset. I just saved the game. So ask to retire. Boom. There is nothing, no confirmation about asking to retire. Oh, it got my name right now. I was unknown. So now we go to the inventory, and let's see if we got anything interesting here. Nope. No, this is just stuff I bought. I got a really cool helmet, steel helmet, face mask thing and all that one of these times when I accidentally hit that button. So now I'm waiting for that 20,000. I'm only down to one caravan now. Yeah. The other ones have been wiped out. So one person's at Tyrrell, Ordinard, and Balkanhand. Oh, we own Tyrrell now? Huh. So I did use diplomacy mod to contact this person when I was in a different city. I think I was in Balkan, this place. They didn't make it because they were by themselves. They got captured on the way and ended up at some other city. So, yeah, I found out diplomacy mod doesn't really work well when you're in the army at this stage. Alright, I could actually pay to get out of the army now. Get the caravan going with the person I have that's staying in this town and rejoin the army. I'll lose current XP, but I think I'll have enough to stay at tier 6. But I'm not going to do that right now, because every time you leave and get back into an army, you lose current XP. So I was at 6 before with a low XP, left the army, came back in. It took forever. I was at tier 5. Since they weren't at war ever, it took forever to get back up to tier 6. So I'm not going to do that, but that is what happens when you ask commander for leave. I'm in a city. I can lure bandits. Okay, well, I got a point in tactics. It's now 43. Fucking looters. So I'm making 1,000 a day at my current tier, and I'm not sure what the highest tier is. Guards, guards! The Sky thugs are stealing all the goods from my shop. Come quick before they get away. Okay, this is a single person fight, so it's me against God knows how many. On a horse. Shit. Oh, that's my horse. Yeah. Yeah, if you win this fight, you get a pitying amount of renown. So I was doing this and barely ever winning to get the renown, because I don't never have the equipment and I don't have the weapon skills to do this stuff. Are you okay? I'm fine. Don't feel bad. The thugs had you outnumbered. You had no chance against that many. The commotion from that fight drew the attention of every guard in town. The thugs had to flee so fast they weren't able to take any of my merchant sites with them. Glad I could help. And I get jack shit for losing. So, except, decreased health. So I kind of find those rather pointless, but I get so bored sometimes with them just... Is anybody else in here? Is Mon Chung here? No. Okay, I am friends with Mon Chung now. So let's go ahead and hit Mon Chung. The first guy I was the first leader I was following was Bortu. Bortu, it turns out, was the child of Mon Chung, who is the leader of the entire faction. I had no idea. But yeah, Bortu died. And then I hopped into creepy-eyed chick's army for quite a long time. And it turns out she has a child, Yana, who is part of Sturgia. So one of the wars we actually did not fight. And I think it had something to do with this stuff. I'm not sure. And then another war we decimated, and she was the opposing side also. But yeah, I'm starting to get into the culture, who's who in this faction, and so far I don't have any beefs with anybody. No, Estelin, I'm not a friend with this guy. I don't know who this guy is. Just picked him up on the side of the road. There's a war going on, man. And you're out here getting looters. I need a different army. one's here. I just need this 20 grand. Yeah, and faction. So 19, you get like one faction a day just by being in an army. And that ain't kicking it. It just is not. Who just went in there? No one I know. Who are you? No one I know. Traveling to Kaiser Castle, that's kinda at the front lines. 83 looters, okay. Oh, you're a chick. 3 cavalry. No formation. Oh, I'm still wearing their armor that they gave me. I forgot to put my armor on, which isn't the best armor at all, by far, even though it cost me 80,000. I've been trying to get better at this whole thing, and I'm just not. But it gives me both bow and riding. Apparently I'm a lefty, or a righty. I use the reins or whatever, because it's... God, yeah. That sucks. And I've gotten to the point where if you're a horse and you're on my side and you're in my way, like that guy, you're dead. Because I don't care. I'm getting sick and tired of horses on our side huddling around me who's got a freaking bow and arrow and killing all my shots. So I just, if you're in front of me and I shoot, you walk in front of me, I'm shooting your ass. In a very old version of the game, if you got friendly fire, that person would immediately do a bout face, leave battle, and go and stand right next to you. Wouldn't do anything. Just go and stand right next to you. Okay, so I do have the decrease accuracy by 15% when you're mounted, or increase your mount's top speed by 5. Hey, we're in an army now. Like this whole thing, this pause in a city, that was somebody request. Apparently the mod never did this. Apparently somebody requested it and he said okay. Now there's not anything in settings.xml that I can fucking get rid of it, because I unpause unless I specifically hit fast forward times. It goes to play, they leave, it goes here. So I have to freaking do that again. I don't like not having options. Like I'm fucking stuck with that. It's annoying, honestly. It's really fucking annoying. If somebody can't be watching the screen, and it's happened to me, I mean, back in the old Freelancer mod, I would have to like be really quick on the space bar so that I could actually use the city while the leader was there. But you can't use the city unless you leave the army in this mod. So I don't see what the big deal is about pausing in cities. It's freaking annoying as piss. Oh, piss off. Uh-oh. Hey, we didn't get trapped that time. Oh, we're fucked though. Oh, no, we're screwed. Oh, we're so screwed. All right. I'll let you guys lead yourselves to your own doom crap in its woods. You guys are going the opposite direction. Not that I'm trying to hit their horses. It's much easier. A bigger target or something. Damn. Oh, this is a mess. See? You just freaking got in front of me. I have to move. I have to move. I have to move. Move. Oh, we're against the Asari? Well, this is a first. When I did the accidental retire from army and all my faction reset, I went down to the Asaris. I was gonna join them, and yeah, that didn't work out very well. So I reloaded a save and got my faction back with this army, this faction. And I don't like, because I hadn't had the text, the bottom left text thing figured out, which I just figured out. And I accidentally left the army. Once by abandoning it, and once by retiring, and there was no check. It was if I actually wanted to hit that button. So that's a request from the mod author. Please add checks to those two options. I've fat-fingered them twice. Alright, this doesn't matter, because we got Goliath right here. So, unless we have never, this is the first time they've attacked the Asari. The reason I went to the Asari is I have my workshops and my caravans based out of our home region, and we never attacked each other, so I thought they would be safe. Oh, we're screwed. Oh, yeah, we're screwed. Defensive ring around our ranged troops. That's actually a good plan. $80 horse archers. Right there. See, I'm on their right side, and if they're like me, they can't shoot me on this side of their horse. I do not have the equipment for this. My frames are stuttering. Yeah, I'm down to 45 frames per second at 86 Celsius. Oh my lord. Well, I did increase the battle size to max, so I wouldn't have recruits. Reinforcements, I mean. I don't like reinforcements because you never know if you're really winning or losing. Like, I know we're losing this one. Oh yeah, I'm gone. I have no idea where I'm shooting these arrows. I just want crossbow back. Here. Charge to your deaths. I never know, what's going on. I'm glad it's not night. At least I know, have a good idea of what's happening here. We're getting our asses kicked. Gonna end the battle, and we'll let it simulate. And let's see if I'm caught by prisoner by them, or if I have to do the fucking run. Yeah, I gotta do the run. Great. I'll try to do the movement speed. Where do I have to get to? Somewhere. See if I can get here. I should be neutral to him. Alright. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, I'm back in an army. I'm coming into 20,000 faction, getting close. I took out a couple hideouts with the bring everybody with you hideout mod and just F2, F3'd them and let them go and take out the hideout. Pulled out my shield at the bandit fight and just backed off. Oh, I forgot. When you can't just close this, you have to back out of that or else the game pauses. So I came back into this army after doing all that with, people I picked up in the, mercenaries I picked up in the tavern. I stayed at tier 6, which is nice. Also, on this one, this was my loadout I was given, except for I swapped out the bow. I do have the glaive on this one. Swapped out one of the steep arrows with the piercing arrows. This was the mask last time I left the army I got, so I have it in this guy's army. And yeah, I had crappy shoes, these curved boots, so I just swapped in my reinforced suede. We're good to go. Now here it is. I kind of got random equipment. I have no idea. I guess I'm a horse archer. Actually, yeah, they're classifying me as a horse archer, but if I hit change equipment, I'm going to lose that glaive. So I'm going to just stick with the equipment I got. And one, I think we'll just leave that to the others. We were a bit late to that party. Oh, I forgot. I've got prisoners from the, Oops. Oh, well, I guess you guys are stuck with me for a while. I got prisoners from the hideout raiding I was doing. Itzel, I received a message from Monchung, the leader of our kingdom. He would like to speak to you personally about offering you a lordship in the kingdom. You have permission to leave my war band. Right here, I've become a vassal. Now, what would we get? Damn, I don't have a recent save. And I don't know where the hell Monchung is. Last seen in war. Well, I don't want to chase that guy down. I don't have any troops. I don't have a save. Alright, I'll chase him down. Which means I gotta go over here and get some troops. Okay, I've got the diplomacy mod now loaded, so... So we'll send... Why can't I send a message? He's a friend of mine. There's always something, you know? I get tired of there always being fucking something. He hangs out here. There he is. Alright. Found Munchung, finally. Part of this game I don't like. I did the diplomacy mod. Now I can suddenly send a message. Oh. I find him and now I can send a message. Fine, fuck ya. Ah, my friend, my heart is glad to see ya. About that lordship you offered me. Actually, never mind. I gotta leave. I gotta save. I've been with this freaking faction all this time. I mean, real life, couple days. Is it worth it? Itzel, you have shown yourself to be a warrior with no equal. Hundreds of my enemies have died by your hands. I need people like you in my kingdom, okay? I will grant you the settlement. Oh, I get a city. As your personal fief, as a fief, default puppy, as a reward for your service. Great. Right, well, off then. Keep safe. Awesome. I get an established town. Now I gotta figure out what to do with it. Settlement owner changed. Alright. Well, balls. I don't know what to do now. It's been so long in this game since I've owned a city. Manage town, I guess. What do you got? You're level 3 on everything but garrison. You're working on workshops. Security is -1. Loyalty, well, that's fine. I don't really have a governor for you. Do I have anyone that is... You'll raise half a security per day as a thief. Govern increased militia recruitment. Bandits are 20% easier, plus villages of your clan recover 20% faster. I'll put you as our governor because, you know, why not? I can afford to boost this. How many days? 38 days. 31 days. And in queue is... What is this? Garrison barracks. And then... Train militia. Okay. We'll do that. So that's my reward for 20,000. I become a vassal, and I got a city. I didn't think he would just... I mean, this was his city. I didn't think he would just hand it over to me. But then again, he is my best buddy. I was in his army for quite a while. If they don't have a city to give you, they'll give you a castle. If they don't have a castle to give you, they'll give you a bunch of cash. So now I need to figure this shit out. Like, what villages are tied to this? Okunton, Ispinter, and Papstiston. So, grain, and sheep. Do I have a workshop in here? I think I do. Yeah, wool weavery, and that's not... It goes up and down. Okay. Can I open 2 workshops? Because... I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that's the rewards you get for... in this mod. Now, I'm no longer part of the army, but I can join the army at any point in time I want to. Although, I'm now technically a vassal, so yeah. So overall, you just don't like forging for anything you can at the beginning of the game. It's a great mod. It has its issues, but it's completely playable. And it's still, I guess, technically in beta, so the issues aren't game breaking. It's only crashed at the mod twice, but I had other mods running too, so I don't know. Really good Freelancer mod.